Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, traders from across the globe, and welcome to the 1247th edition of Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar Carboni. Traders, these videos are geared to teach you the art of technical analysis, how to use these charts and formations to help you see what prices may come forward. As we know, futures trading can be extremely risky, can cause substantial financial loss, and is certainly not suitable for all trading accounts. Remember, traders, this is merely my opinion, but I have been doing this for 33 years, and the OMNI has left a pretty decent track record for all to see. Even though we don't boast a track record, we do this live before your eyes with these OMNI trades. And you see that so far so good, right? So it might be my opinion, but you might as well follow this OMNI for a little while and see what happens. All right, so this is the gold daily bar where I left you off. I told you that the gold was gyrating inside of a monster bear flag, which it is still doing. So you look at the gold and you say, all right, so if the gold's in a big bear flag, no big deal. So that's if we look at this like it's a big bear flag. What if, by the way, we completely reconstructed the chart and said, you know what, bear flag, let's just get out of the way here. Let's say, well, what if this was some sort of a V bottom right here? So we go, whoa, could gold be putting in some sort of a V bottom? Is that possible? All right, you know what, let's not think that. Let's rethink that one too. Let's think, could this possibly be an interesting little thing going on here, like a bull flag in gold right here? Could that be what's going on? A little bull flag building right here in gold. Here's your flagpole, right? Represented with this. And then here's your flag with these couple of bars. Now flags start very quickly, so could this be a flag building? Absolutely. And then imagine if we take our imaginations and extend down a little further here and go, ooh, could this possibly be some sort of a bottom action in gold? 1, 2, 3. Well, sure, that's one way to look at it if this bear flag turns out to not be a bear flag. Right now we are inside of a big bear flag, so this other scenario is nothing more than a dream. But we're testing the upper boundaries of this bear flag now, and if we can get above it, then the bear flag gets negated, and we start looking at this new scenario with this possibly being a bottom and this being a little bull flag. With that in mind, the way the street operates these days, although it's not quite that way economically, it's not tied that way, but people tend to think if gold is going to go up, then the stock market might come down. Now, interestingly enough, I don't know that gold bottomed, and I'm not calling that at all. We're still in a bear flag, don't forget, right? Bear flag, bear market. We are in a bear flag, if you put it back together. Let me just reconstruct this again. In a booming bear market, if you go like this, I mean, that's a bear market, right? So bear flag, bear market makes lots of sense. However, if somehow we did bottom and this bear flag gets negated by the market blasting off through it, then this could be a bull flag. The possibility of a bottom is here. And with that thought in mind, let's move out to a couple of other charts. Look at this chart, traders, the emini S&P. I say it is time to begin to play nimble inside this F flag, if you will, because we've been in it for a long time. It really started down here. We can draw the trend lines out so that it actually stretches out, and you're inside of the F flag all the way to up here, but it's getting a little tired. Right now you're in this channel. And of course the channel, all we're going to do is open it up, and it fits very smartly right now. But I think it's time to be nimble because the OMNI itself is starting to put in those flip-flop arrows. It's starting to give me a turnaround arrow as of today. So looking at the charts, gold's starting to look slightly bullish like I just showed you. And I think we need to be nimble in here because now the S&P can drop all the way down to the 20s and still be inside the flag. So time to start to be nimble here. It might still stay bullish, of course, but you can drop now 10, 15 points and stay inside of a flag. Then you go to the Nasdaq. And you look at the Nasdaq and you say, well, looking at this Nasdaq, we are still inside of this Oscar Carboni's F flag, if you will, still well inside of the F flag. And now, is this a baby bull flag building inside the F flag? Absolutely, looks like one to me. I wouldn't argue with this flag for a moment, this one right here, inside of this one. So that's very bullish, which keeps us on the bullish track, which keeps us buying the dips. So Omni's starting to flip, which means inside the flag, maybe we need to sell a rally and then buy a dip. We'll see what happens. We're trying to stay focused, but we're not in a flag in all of the markets. It gets a little more tricky now when we look at this one. Traders, this one I think you're going to find a little bit troublesome. This is our Russell, the E-mini Russell or the Russell 2000. Will this start a pullback? Is this going to be recognized as the double top? Because you don't have to have an exact double top like what it would be at this line to be a double top. It just has to be a market that goes up to about the same area and then dumps. Now this is where Russell is right now. And I have a question. Have we fallen from heaven in the Russell? What does that mean? Have we fallen out of our little flag here? Is that what just happened? Because if you look at this right now, I'm not 1,000% sure that Russell's still in the flag anymore. And then here's your poll. So look at this flag. Russell tends to be a leader. We have fallen out yesterday, leading into, this is now Monday night for Tuesday. So leading into Tuesday, we're under that flag dramatically. This very well could be a double top. And if you look back here, the last time we started our drop, we started with the Russell. It started first and then everything else followed. I tend to call this the Aunt Yelen dump. This was the Janet Yellen. I should never open my mouth and call markets dump. Sorry, Aunt Janet Yellen, for yelling at you, but really. In any event, that's what we got when she opened up her yapper. But here we are now at this thing. 1, 2. And if this is starting to go down, I assure you at least 1 or 2 down days will come with the S&P. So I'm not calling for the downside. I'm not calling for the upside. I'm calling for us to remain in our flags in the other markets unless we follow. Now, oddly enough, our Omni is starting us off this evening with a short first in the Nasdaq. Sickening, I know. But I have to follow the Omni arrow because not everything is in a flag right now, as you see with the Russell. So, and if you look at the Dow and the tranny, you know, I don't have to show it all to you. They're no longer in flags. They're starting to drop down a little bit. So, must respect the Omni first, and then if the flag's going to work, because we've respected the flag 3 days in a row now, it's about time to give the Omni a little respect, which is starting to turn slightly bearish. If, in fact, the flag holds, we will do our thing. But at this point, the Omni gave us a little bit of a short somewhere up here, and we are going to follow that into Monday night into Tuesday and see where it takes us. I'd prefer to be long down here, and that's what I'm hoping for. We'll see what happens, but that's not what's happening right now. For now, Omni's starting to flip a little. We're questioning whether or not this is a baby flag. We know we're in a big flag. Nasdaq's still bullish. ES can absolutely say, we can say it's still bullish. However, it can drop dramatically and still be in the bull cycle. So while we're day traders, we might have to take advantage of that. We'll see how this works out. Follow the Omni today. And certainly this guy would tend to make you think that the market's getting a little ugly right now. So I'm not, you know me, while following the markets wherever they go. I think we need to heed the warning here in the Nasdaq, at least for this afternoon, or I should say this evening into tomorrow, and we'll let the markets tell us what to do. Traders, if you like the analysis that you are seeing here, we'd love to have you come on down to livewithoscar.com and learn with us. Come in our free chat room and learn how to follow these charts. If you don't want to do that, try to do this. Keep your emotions at bay. Can you do it? If you cannot keep your emotions at bay, which I know is very difficult to do, try to remember this. If you do this first, if you add something called a stop to your trading plan, and you put your stop in first, very, very important here. But what you need to do, and a circle, by the way, with an X around it represents stop in most trading platforms. If you do something really intelligent and you put your stop in before you ever get into the trade, if in fact the stop works and it doesn't get blown out and you get knocked out of the trade, which is a very likely event, this will turn out to be your best friend. The stop will work even when you crap in your pants and run outside and pretend that you didn't see the market dump, or call your friends and tell them the internet went down at that point, or whatever lies you come up with when you lie to yourself when you either cancel a stop or don't put one in. But that's a big problem. You want to keep your emotions at bay, put your stop in first, and then say this to yourselves every morning, every afternoon, every evening, and especially when you are in a trade and you know what that is. Stops are in. Emotions are out. Traders, I will see you at livewithoscar.com.